What's up, YouTube? This is Weird Station here, and on this edition of Anime Reactions, we're going to go ahead and react to the 24th and final episode of the first season of Dr. Stone. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Yes, there's an announcement for season 2 of Dr. Stone. I'm actually happy that is, because the way it was leading up to, like, it was going to lead up to the war between Tsubasa and Tsubasa's group and Senku's group. Like, it's obvious. Like, I thought they was gonna be able to just try to squeeze it and then just gonna damage just gonna end right there. No. Nowadays, as of right now, and I don't know why, and I'm not exactly sure why that anime they get stuff anime like this are now starting to get announced sequels, and that much more earlier as compared to the anime earlier in the decade that never really get an answer. Nearly all of them don't get announcements at all. For the most part, and even when they do, the sequels are just like they're just kind of there, but not like. But it's more like because they've already planned per se planned it and all. Now, Dr. Stone probably got the green light because I'm hearing like the manga is actually doing pretty well. I don't know. I don't remember if I'm not so sure if it was sales or popularity or ratings, but I feel like Dr. Stone is really deserving of where it is right now. And fuck anyone who thinks it's bad. It's great. It is because it's setting Dr. Stone is that sort of show where you have to accept it for what it is. The identity is. It's the same thing when you watch Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm like, no, but JoJo is always is always said to be good. Like, yo, it's fucking manly men flexing, posing all this while playing stand chess, and what can be weird? I don't see much stuff weirder than that. I mean, come on. Symphogear too. If I'm not, like, yeah, yeah, those Symphogear. I don't know why why it just didn't come to mind first. There's that. There's also some other stuff too. But yeah, you just have, like, when a show makes it like as quirky as it is, if the identity is set in and it pleases me, don't mishear what I like. Then I usually end up praising it. I used to criticize. I'm gonna say that I criticize most shows or get really critical of shows that really half-ass on trying to establish an identity, because like usually those series, their story, their narrative direction, the character development it really meanders. It really just doesn't know where to go. It generally doesn't know where to go. And sometimes that's intentional, sometimes it's not. Like, well, say if you're gonna, like, I guess in crossover series, that can be a thing, but because crossover series where, like, from one verse is a totally different identity from the other that's also involved, that can be a problem depending on who's involved, who or what's involved, and it's a thing. But for the most part, when a show can firmly establish its identity, I'm all right with it, as long as it doesn't have the elements that annoy me, offend me, or whatever. I mean, it still all comes down to personal enjoyment in the end. I mean, well, if you terms for personal grading, okay, my bad. Maybe not all the time. I mean, you still gotta be critical. Like, there's a lot of shows out there which I really enjoy, but I thought were so bad. So, to be fair, and it depends on, like, is my enjoyment enough to overthrow whatever flaws were there, so I can give it a higher enough. It depends. It really depends. But anyways, so this is probably gonna be so Senku got a birthday present, which was nice. So I don't know how they're gonna wrap this up. I guess it's just kind of like a little hype up for the next season. You know, sort of a little wrap up, just like, oh, we know something is gonna come for the second season. So we really cannot judge at this point. At this point, unless if you're a dingus, you cannot, you know, completely judge an anime based on how it wraps up. If you know the story is, going to, you know, per se continue. You gotta, you know, put your put your the grading factors into everything else that has been established, right? And that's just how it is. Now, if everything was just horribly rushed, then there's issues. I mean, there's a bunch of shows out there that I've had that, regardless of what conclusion it had, I still hated it because of the pacing. I won't name off any, but yeah, Dr. Stone's good. Watch it. It's not your typical shonen. I want to slap upside the head anyone who calls this an isekai. I really want to beat the shit out of anyone who calls this an isekai, a straight up isekai, and starts comparing it to SAO, which is because they're totally different. They're just totally different. And SAO, in my opinion, is not really is an isekai too, but it's not the isekai. Okay, the isekai where someone just dies and then just gets reincarnated. No, it's just it's just Jesus being warped, having his brain conscious zapped into a virtual world, basically, or with Ko, depending on your arc. So yeah, this is not isekai. The only thing really similar with isekai is that our main protagonist wakes up in a different setting, not different world. It's still the same world, but it's now different because thousands of years have passed. If you've seen Oda Nobunaga Yabo, that is an isekai, but also, but it's kind of, there's a thing where it's kind of a shaky one because the MC in that series is transported into another time, another settings, but maybe not necessarily a totally different world, or maybe, like, unless if we want to go with the parallel universe thing, which was not really confirmed. I'm not so sure if it was, where he is performed, where the Japanese historical figures are basically cute girls, you know, females, basically. While people initially think it's just some sort of lolicon thing, it's not really. It was actually a really solid isekai series, although it should have gotten a fucking season 2. I don't know what, but then again, it's one of those shows that will probably never get announcements for a continuation in terms of anime adaptations. But yeah, I think I've said enough. I mean, I don't want to just run out the timer on this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with this baby right now. So this is going to be, let me find it here. This is going to be the last episode. I know there's going to be an announcement. I know I'm pretty sure there's going to be an announcement at the very end of the episode, but like, oh, season 2. I'm pretty sure it's going to be that case. So let's go ahead and get this started. Alrighty. So is my volume working or something? Okay, it's working. Just making sure. All right. So starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, my bad. It was not the birthday present. It's just that they finally they finally were able to make that battery that and that new cell phone. I don't know what's the best opening this season. This one or the one from Vinland Saga? And frankly, the two favorite opening themes from this season, in my opinion, are from those with the continuing cores. I swear to God, it's the only two for me. Rob the Frontier from Nanzuza Tanzai season 3. It's great, but you know I dropped it after the first episode. I am not continue. I have not only have I have an issue with the visual quality of that one, but I just am just so fed up with with its direction right now. Like back then, although the reaction videos are now gone, when I was reacting to season 2, I at first liked it, but when I look at it in retrospect, it's just like, where was the point of that direction where the story was going? You know? Yeah. Although nowadays they come in smaller packages. Watch him build a cell phone one day that is as small as a credit card. Oh wait, we need to make more of these. I miscalculated. Don't tell him. Oh man. Can you hear me now? Oh, it better not be a cliche one. Well, that's true. Does he want to? Does he want to use this moment, this historical moment right here, to just make it be an actual love profession? You can hear him. You can hear him. Ah, disappointed. Of course he's gonna Of course he's not gonna be direct. He just held off at the last moment. It is a speaker. Hmm? Yeah, the Rui, the passed down. Rui was, being told all these stories from when she was younger. Hmm? Wow. Yep. Yep. So the fact that Barrys exist get passed down as like a myth, a legend, in a personification of a bee. I mean, that's that's wow. That's impressive. That's something, man. That's wild. Wow. 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 How fitting. How fitting. Oh. Whoa, 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 hold on. You don't need a big old hammer. Ah, no, 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 no. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, record. Oh yeah, the record. I wonder what message was left there. So, oh. Of course, he didn't build a saucer, but he came up with the idea of recording, though. Of course you would. So a little bit of a flashback. We're just don't chill. We're just gonna get more parts. The show's choice of background soundtracks is just great. That is true. What they did back then is what these guys are doing right now with the little with the little present that Byakuya gave. I love those. I'm really liking those RPG references. You know, the classic RPG references. Ah, oh, they actually make it a little the authentic static too. Yeah, Senku. Keep in mind, he's still been rubbing that right ear for for half the damn show. Oh, that's too nice, man. That's too nice. Nah, nah. I mean, we already had one. We already had one. One's enough. Because you gotta see this dude had sacrificed his shield. And he's just like, you don't know about it? So this they gonna play a soundtrack. Nice. This is gonna be included in the list of soundtracks, huh? Is it gonna? I would be surprised if it didn't. You know, it's just feeling you get when you're playing back a recording on a CD, just hearing the singer, just you could just literally hear it. It's as if they're right there, depending on what depending on what you're using. And this is just basically a montage of Senku's journey so far. I mean, this is how we're gonna preserve. This is how we're gonna be hearing back classics like the Bees, Beatles, and like all the above. I mean, like no matter how years pass, if you have the proper playback, you could still play those back over and over again. Dragon Ball. Isn't this the same reason why we're actually still able to watch those old classics now, and people still overly praise? Stone Wars up, man. This is fun. Yeah, you could say that. Hmm. Yeah, he actually did keep that promise, huh? It was all the way back, so I don't remember exactly what he said, but yeah, they're coming. They're coming. They've been MIA for most of this season, but they'll come. They're coming. Like, where have y'all two been? Easy, brother. Easy. Uh-oh. Oh boy, this thing's gonna get complicated. Because the enemy is aware of this too. Oh man, that's... Both Senku and Tsubasa want to rebuild humanity, but they want to go about it in different ways. They're essentially are kind of the same, but in for what mirror like versions of each other. Boy, this keep going. And there's season 2 confirmed. Like, I would usually take off my headphones and start talking, but I like this. I like this ending song too. You know, listening to this ending after those two emotional beats regarding Senku's father, like that just hit home right there, man. Like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for season 2. Doctor Stone is a show that I had mixed expectations going into this. And even if I don't totally figure this out, like I was so unsure how to feel about it on certain areas. Like there were a little bit of plot problems, like maybe some forced comedy here and there, maybe a bit of like how they display the explanations here and there. But it's all in all a really good show, and honestly, a really good show in the series. Better, I'm just gonna say, better than Kimetsu no Yaiba. All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm just saying. It's don't. It's just in the end, it's just my opinion. But there's a reason for that. Like, what Kimetsu no Yaiba is unable to do, Doctor Stone did, and Doctor Stone, it's a shonen by technicality, by not actuality. I mean, if what I'm trying to say, right? Doctor Stone is one of those shows where it makes an identity for itself. It doesn't feel like some sort of long, tedious shonen sort of show. It doesn't feel like a repetitive one of those, repetitive episodic sort of shonen theater like Dororo. Well, Dororo is okay, but there's some issues with that. There were issues with how that show was paced with its self-contained stories and overlying plot. But this one is just like, it feels like an adventure you can actually enjoy, and that's it. And that's all there is to it. I mean, you're having fun while trying to save this world, rebuild this world, prevent others from trying to ruin your dreams, and try to have their sort of wild takes. I can understand, because when I really think about this, Tsubasa's sort of, did I say this right? Did I say call him Tsubasa? God damn it! Sorry, Katsunari. Sorry, miss. I totally mixed up your damn names. Tsubasa's intentions, like it's understandable, but the way he's going about with it is kind of be brutal, because he wants to kill off everything related to science and just basically live in a stone. He wants them to live humanity to live in the non-technology world, for non-technology sort of setting, forever and ever and ever. But you have to know that it's going to happen. Technology is going to happen nonetheless if people want to survive. Like, technology was built because humanity wants to find easier ways to survive, to get by, to make it easier for the generation after that. And that's what Sengoku was trying to do, but he is, as he said by himself, skipping steps. I have no problem with the pacing of the show at all. It doesn't feel like anything was drawn out. Well, there is some sort of drawn out, but it doesn't feel as tedious as something like, well, say, Boku no Hero Academia. It's something like comparable to Full Metal Alchemist, where the pacing is actually, with the exception of a few episodes here and there for Full Metal Alchemist, was the first 15 or so. The pacing has been rather, it's been kind of honest, just like it's just mid ground. It's a good choice of how they're telling it, and frankly, it doesn't feel like feel like there's something missing. It doesn't feel like there's something needlessly added. It's just the only problem is that I really had with this series was only the really same problems that I had with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which was some sort of poor takes on comedy, which is fine. Now, unrelated, I thought I liked the original version of Full Metal Alchemist than Brotherhood. I thought I did. I still really like the original version, but it was unable to complete the story. It was not very tightly written, because although it did show its tone, the atmosphere, the theme of it a lot better, like significantly better than the Brotherhood. Brotherhood had a good overall story, going on with a great cast of characters. I don't want to feel criticized just trying to compare Dr. Stone to Full Metal Alchemist, but that's sort of vibes I now realize I'm getting when I was watching Dr. Stone. But of course, it's sort of like an opposite, because as opposed to the very solemn sort of dark stuff that you see in Full Metal Alchemist, this is still them. Like, yes, they're in a situation where it's a post-apocalypse, basically. It still feels like having fun. It's like a wondrous fantasy adventure, sort of RPG-ish. I mean, you saw all the fantasy RPG references. I mean, unless if you just were not paying attention, and frankly, I don't know why we would. And it turns out well. Now there were animation problems here and there. Well, actually, I think the only okay, to be fair, I think the only real problems with in terms of animation is just that the fight sometimes like it feels like they cut corners in terms of how they could properly visually present some certain scenes. Like there's just some sort of still frames, there's some sort of awkward sort of far away shots. There's some sort of a little bit too many montages, but that I can be okay with to a certain extent. That and there's sometimes the designs feel wacky, and some of the designs, especially like in certain frames, may feel a little weird. But that's really about it. Now for some plot problems, there I will say in particular that the one with Chrome, where he was able to use the whole magnifying glass thing against Magma, that felt so bullshit. But then at the same time, how Magma was able to advance was pretty bullshit in itself. So it's kind of even, I guess. And that was really the one big nitpick I had. And other than that, it really hasn't. It really hasn't, there. Like, it did sort of lull for me in the middle of the second half, but when they start introducing Senku's father, from what I'm told, is not blood related. Like, she's a good father. I mean, like, even if he's not even if he's not an orthodox sort of father figure for Senku, and the emotional beats with that, it was great. I really liked the parts involving Byakuya, and I'm not gonna lie, there is not even one character in this damn show that I hate. Not one. Not a single one, in truth. Like, I thought I would hate Magma. I thought I would. I thought I did. But I really didn't. It's just one of those cases where anime turns one of these despicable guys, one of the most despicable guys, into someone likable. Now, anime doesn't always, not all shows do that. Some just stay shitbags, like fully you should hate to the end. And whether or not, and sometimes that can be a factor in whether or not the characters and story were well written. Because let's be fair, we need great well written villains can be an accessory, but badly written villains can be a hindrance. Like, if we can stick with an average villain, that is fine as long as everything else is set in stone. We don't want a badly written one. Tsukasa is a really interesting antagonist, and I really look forward to how much to his involvement in the Stone Wars. Is he gonna survive or not? I know people could get killed off in the Stone Wars. I mean, I'm just not ready for who will be. I kind of don't want Tsukasa to be killed off for the sake of getting rid of the threat to the world of technology. But at the same time, like, I don't really see him, having a second thought about possibly joining Senku, in the situation, in a certain situation, if the situation comes. But let's be fair. So the matchup for this, this is going to be one interesting class, because Senku's group is obviously overpowered in terms of physical strength, but they do have the thing where they do have a double agent per se, and also also with Taiju and Yuzuriha, and unfortunately Tsukasa's goons, I think they are pretty much aware of it, That's a lot of those last scenes, a lot of foreshadowing for the next season. And frankly, I want this new season like fucking like the very next season. But we have to wait. We have to wait for the official announcement date. Now I'd probably be 30 by then, like finally turn 30 by then when they do announce it. I hope, and I hope like with the new season comes some slightly better sort of production qualities. Like I'm not saying the animation quality was bad. It's just like it just feels inconsistent here and there. Like maybe once like they had to take this break, you know, give the crew like some breaks in there. They'll be refreshed. There'll be some better looking animated scenes and somewhat, and you know some like even better soundtracks. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know frankly what happens in the manga. I mean, I don't really want too much of spoilers, although you could hint if you want to. I mean, but just don't spoil everything, okay? So yeah, in a nutshell, Doctor Stone is great. Watch it. Just fucking watch it. Don't watch. It is better than your junk food Boku no Hero Academia. It is better than your okay-ish Kimetsu no Yaiba. It is better than. It is definitely better than Nanatsu no Taizai, which is just a mess right now. It's better than most. It's better than most of those mainstream shonens going on right now. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be better. I don't want to put it on the league that Fullmetal Alchemist and Hunter x Hunter established, but Doctor Stone is one of those shows where I'm not gonna mention One Piece. Okay, I'm not gonna mention Fairy Tail or Naruto. Don't even ask me about that, because those are shows that I've yet to really commit to, unfortunately. So yeah. I think that's all I really need to say. I mean, if you want to add more stuff in the comments, just go ahead. Just shoot away. Be nice though. Be nice. In the end, we just have opinions. And frankly, maybe I took my opinion a little too seriously in a sort of joke, like when I'm just really kind of like messing around, you know, joking around and all that. But yeah. But then again, I'm still being honest at the same time. So on that note, guys, smash like button. That will do it for this season of Doctor Stone. Can't wait for the next season. So smash like button if you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're interested in getting notifications and updates, new upload content and videos on this channel, just hit the bell icon below. Also, check out the links to the description of the video for links to the other social media platforms I use, like follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. Check out, join my Discord server, check out my Patreon page, and and be a patron if you want to. If you can also check out the other channels on YouTube that I support. I am still thinking about what I'm gonna go forward with heading into next year. Now that like New Year's kind of almost around the corner, sort of around the corner. I don't know about that. I just gotta wait for this season to end. But on that note, guys, that will do it for this edition of Anime Reactions. So until then, see you next time.